Hi everyone, welcome to CSX In the Kitchen. I'm your host Juline Jordan, and we're glad to be here. As the weather is turning, I hear a lot about, of course, pumpkin spice. The pumpkin spice craze is real. It's like the bacon craze of a couple of years ago. Well, anyway, there's also a lot of talk about tomato soup and grilled cheese, one of many people's favorites, and it's a great way to transition into the fall, because now we're in fall. So we're going to make kind of a kicked up grilled cheese today. We're going to use smoked Gouda cheese, and then I've sauteed here Vidalia onions and mushrooms. I use baby portobellos. So I've got that, and that's going into the sandwich as well. So right here I've got sourdough bread, and I've got it buttered on both sides. So I think the best way for it to melt evenly and easier than if you just cut slices is to grate this cheese. So I've grated this smoked Gouda, and I am not going to be stingy on the cheese. No way. And then, of course, the tomato soup, which we'll talk about in a second. So we're going to take some of this mixture here. This is your mushroom and caramelized onions. Oh, that looks so good. And we're going to pile that right on top of the Gouda cheese. So we'll get that on there. And we're going to put that on this grill pan. I've got it heated up already. We'll kind of push it down, and we'll get that on the grill. And I have many more to make after this because the crew likes the grilled cheese. And they also like, let me get a paper towel here, tomato soup. You guys kind of like everything I make, don't you? Yeah, okay, good, thank you. What are you going to say, no? So we've got our grilled cheese going. I think we'll kick this up a little bit to medium heat and get that grilling. You can hear it. Oh, yeah. Now, as far as the tomato soup is, it's a tomato basil soup. And it's really easy. It's just a few ingredients. Now, you could get real elaborate on your tomato soup, but I wanted to make it simple because that's what I like to do on this show, is keep it simple for you. So you're not slaving over the hot stove for hours on end, and you can feed your family in a jiffy. So I did some crushed tomatoes, tomato puree, a little bit of tomato paste to fortify the tomato flavor. And then I did chicken broth, and I did some onion and garlic powder. Now, normally, if you want to go a little further, you'll saute the onions and the garlic, and that's probably the best way to go, but I wanted to make a quick one. And then salt and pepper, and that's all you've got in there. And then I cut up some of this beautiful basil, and I put it in there. So it's been simmering on the stove for quite a little while. Usually, get it up to a boil, then bring it to a simmer, and 15 minutes later. That's how easy this soup is. So we've got our grilled cheese going here. We're going to turn it up a little more and get it cranking. There's nothing like that combination of grilled cheese and tomato soup. So I want to let you know a few things that are going on at the radio station. We have our 30th anniversary that has continued, and it will continue through the end of the year. We have all kinds of things that we're giving away. And want to thank everyone who came out to our CSX bonfire the other night. We made a giant guitar out of plywood. Does that sound right, Mark? Was it plywood? You're the one who made it, Jefferson. Okay, and it was the Eddie Van Halen guitar. And we put that on top of the bonfire, and then we lit the bonfire, and then that guitar just lit up like crazy. And all of a sudden, the neck of the guitar went crashing down, and everyone went, ooh, ah, all of that. And we just had a blast. So we really want to thank everyone for coming out to Heritage Park in Taylor for that. And we have more plans for you. Remember, every Thursday night, we have Classic Rock Thursdays at Danny J's in Utica, and a different tribute band every week goes on. So that we do that every week. And we're spending a lot of time at Little Caesars Arena, big show coming to town with the Eagles coming up a little later in the fall. And if you haven't been to Little Caesars Arena yet, it is absolutely beautiful. I was there for the Red Wings home opener, and it's a mind blower. When you walk around, you look around and you're inside, but they have this natural lighting that comes in, and you feel like you're outside. So it's just a super cool arena, and I hope you get to see it soon. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Look at that. Yes. We got those nice grill marks on there. So it's about, I'd say, 3 to 4 minutes per side for a grilled cheese on medium heat. And yeah, you definitely want to get that butter on there, and that will help create those beautiful grill marks. So we're going to keep that going. And the soup is coming along nicely. And I think I might even put more basil in there because I've had some in there for a little bit. You want to put some as a finish at the end as well. So I'm going to do a technique that's called the chiffonade. And what you do is you take the basil leaves and you just kind of pile them one on top of another like that. And you roll it into the shape of a cigar. So we roll it up. And this is the technique called chiffonade. It basically is creating ribbons. It's really easy. It's a fancy name, but it's really not that fancy. And I'll cut those once again in half, and we'll get those in because we really want that basil flavor to stand out. Now, if I were making this for myself at home and we didn't have a couple people in the room who don't like spicy food, that's one person, that's one. I would probably put some chili flakes in there. So you can always do that as well if you want to kick that up a notch. I still love you, Mark. Don't worry. We will make it not spicy for you because, well, it is kind of your set. It's kind of your house, right? So I aim to please. Smoked Gouda, another cheese. Let's talk cheese. Another great melting cheese that you could use is Gruyere, or some people call it Gruyere, but I call it Gruyere. And that's a nice melting one, but this Gouda really melts nicely, and it gives you that nice smoky flavor. And we're gonna check in on our grilled cheese. It looks perfect. Okay, look at that. Now, let's do the magic test. Let me move this out of the way. And we'll cut it in half. And we'll do this. Isn't that beautiful? Now that's a grilled cheese. And it's super, super hot. So I'm going to take a little bite because I get myself into trouble when I do the tasting part of this show. Well, I'll let it sit there while I get a little soup in the bowl. We'll do that. We'll let it cool off a little bit. Okay, so here's your very easy, your very simple tomato soup. So satisfying for this time of year. And, you know, it also brings you back to your childhood. I remember my mom making this for me, and it just takes me back. What's up, Marge? Okay, so this is hot too. Here I go. Wish me luck. Oh, I'm scared. Yes, very satisfying. And we'll take a bite of your kicked up grilled cheese. That's delicious. If you don't like mushrooms, leave them off. If you don't like caramelized onions or onions at all, I don't want to know you. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Just leave it off and just do these different cheeses. You can put avocado on it. You can put tomato on it. The possibilities are endless. I always say, give it a Google or go to WCSX.com and look on our page, CSX In the Kitchen. We're so glad that you stopped by to hang out with us for another episode. And this is episode 2 of season 2. See you next time.